and it's always used as a weapon. Oh, look at this lack of civility. And when you look at the current state of the world, which is such an inadequate phrase.
I just look, this drives me crazy because it's like, we could get completely uncivil here and they would be the first to whine and cry and fucking bitch about it. They would. Well, so that it's was like, look, they want to be uncivil towards you. Okay. They want you to be totally civil towards them.
Maybe you can start by explaining what civility is in your estimation and why it's a fantasy.
Well, there are unfortunately multiple definitions for civility, but when it's used in sociopolitical discourse, most often it means don't get too excited, don't get too angry, don't be too hurt. This is all an intellectual exercise. Don't step out of line. Don't do what what your opposition perceives as harm. And that harm really is oftentimes about their egos. And, don't make me feel complicit in whatever's happening in our world. Don't make me feel like I've done something wrong. Don't make me feel ashamed, as if we have any control over that, which we don't. And it's really...
This is like part of the insidiousness of extremists and extreme ideologies, is that they'll take a concept like civility, where the entire point of voting and the democratic process and kind of the way that politics is structured in our country is to provide political solutions to the population to govern itself without violence, without the need to kill each other, because obviously people aren't always going to agree. They're not always going to agree on some very major issues. And you need to figure out a way to compromise with your neighbor, with the next town, the next state, with the country as a whole together. And a big part of that is civility. And by civility, you generally mean people following the rules, people engaging in conversation, being reasonably polite to each other. You can disagree, but not falling prey into violence or any of these other things. And then, so what you do is you have some extreme radical, like Roxane Gay, and she has some extreme radical ideology that she's pressing for. And people generally, they don't like whatever this extreme nonsense is that people on the far left or the far right push. And so in order for them to gain traction, in order for them to do what they want to do, they have to be not civil. They have to break the rules. They have to break the law. They have to be violent. They have to appeal to very extreme people. And one of the ways they do that is they say, oh, well, we're now going to redefine this concept of civility, this thing that kind of keeps our country together. We're going to redefine this as a bad thing. Okay. So that when a person using the normal definition says this good thing, like, hey, we should be civil to each other, they hear that as like, oh, you're just telling me that I need to shut up and I need to give into the evil white male power structures, because I've redefined the word so that when I hear it, when students hear it, when people in my movement hear it, they hear the truth of what you're really saying.
You should stand up against your oppressor. That's what their argument is. Their argument is that they're all oppressed and therefore violence is necessary.
Right.
It's not about civility. You're just telling me to shut up and stay oppressed.
Yes.
And to fight back against my oppression. That's what they're saying. But look, I think they're all full of shit. I don't think Roxane Gay is oppressed.
No, I don't think.
I mean, she might be. She might be oppressed.
I don't think that. Let's see, American writer, professor, editor, social commentator, author of New York Times best-selling essay collection, Bad Feminist, as well as a short story collection. I don't see her as being oppressed in our society at the moment. I'm sure she views her oppression, but I don't think some famous writer is oppressed.
Same with Ta-Nehisi Coates. Same thing. He gets to go out there and advocate for violence because he's like, oh, my ancestors were oppressed 100 years ago.
So according to her Wikipedia page, it says Roxane Gay began writing essays as a teenager, with much of her early work being influenced by her experience with childhood sexual violence. So that's obviously horrible. But that would be some individual did something to her, right? That's not the system oppressed her. And then underneath it, it says her parents were relatively wealthy, supporting her through college and paying her rent until she was 30.
Ah ha 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 ha. So fucking oppressed.
I do feel like that happens.
Her trust. She had to wait to 30 for her trust fund. She's oppressed.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right. It does seem like stuff like that happens. Someone has some bad experience, and then even though, which is horrible, and then they kind of develop a grudge against society or reality, even though they personally didn't suffer like a systemic failing of some sort.
No, it's stolen valor. That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's stolen valor. It's like, I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I need to be cool. I need to cultivate my street cred.
Right.
It's all bullshit.
Oh my God. So she went through, oh geez, she did that surgery where they like remove your stomach.
Gastral bypass surgery?
Make you skinnier.
Did she?
I don't think it
doesn't look like it worked.
Yeah, how is that even possible?
It didn't work.
How is that even possible? Does it look like it worked?
That's horrible. So many people in Los Angeles get that done and regret it. Ultimately,
you should never get that surgery. That's a really bad surgery to get. I guess now with Ozempic, people aren't even going to bother with that.
Fortunate because it compromises honest and productive conversations, and it's always used as a weapon. Oh, look at this lack of civility. And when you look at the current state of the world, which is such an inadequate phrase,
this drives me crazy because it's like, we could get completely uncivil here, and they would be the first to whine and cry and fucking bitch about it. They would. Well, so that was like, look, they want to be uncivil towards you, okay? They want you to be totally civil towards them, right?
That's the entire, I mean, this part of the insanity of all this conversation is the way that all this started in 2014, 2015 was a bunch of feminists coming in and saying, men are uncivil, gross, bad people.
Yeah, exactly.
And they must be civilized and their behavior must be tamed. And then now that people are like, okay, you guys are crazy. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're telling us to be civil? How dare you? Civility is bad. It's like, what the fuck? Like, can you imagine 2015, all the guys should have just been like, oh, I'm sorry, feminists trying to come into gaming spaces and in the workplace. Stop trying to police us with your civility nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No. You talk about a woman's looks, like anything like that. Oh my God, you're so uncivilized.
Mm-hmm.
But look, they frame it and they're oppressed. So they can take the gloves off because they're at the bottom of the hierarchy. They're just trying to, they're the underdogs here. For us, we're punching down. That's what's happening. Right. Even though my parents weren't rich. So
you can see that what is uncivil is ICE terrorizing an apartment building in Chicago in the middle of the night and taking people from their beds. Like, that's uncivil.
Yeah.
And so talking about it is not uncivil. And I think it's really important for any of us with...
I can't stand this. I can't fucking stand this.
Are you gonna be able to make it? We're only
I can't stand. It's like for all of their protesting about democracy being on the line, they're such fucking hypocrites. They're such hypocrites. This is what people voted for. People are getting what they voted for. And now you're saying it's uncivilized. Well, guess what? We had a fucking election, okay? If you want things to change, show up in the next election. Advocate for the next election. Remember, democracy's on the line here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such bullshit. It's such fucking bullshit. It's like, look, we lost the election and we don't like these policies, so therefore you're being uncivilized. Some would say it was uncivilized to let a bunch of people in the country illegally. Some would say
Right.
that was uncivilized, right? We're a nation of laws. You
Mhm.
uncivilized person. How dare you? When your wife brings home 20 stray cats, what do you think? You're like, oh, okay. 20 stray cats, huh? Oh, this isn't going to end well. But look, the Democrats are just like, let all the stray cats in. Let them all in.
Mhm.
This is how this ends. But they take no responsibility for it whatsoever. None.
Sanity left to be very clear about that distinction.
When you talk about the people who believe in the possibility of civility at this moment, are they, sort of more simply put, just people who don't understand oppression and haven't experienced it firsthand?
For the most part, yes, because most of the people who call for civility happen to be, I don't know if it's coincidence or not, heterosexual, middle or upper middle class, well-educated white men.
I am completely against civility, okay? I would like to take the gloves off right now and be as uncivil as humanly possible, okay? I'm being constrained by a society right now, and that's probably a good thing.
It's
It's just fucking Sitch.
the irony of this is you have to be, if you're you have Roxane Gay, okay, she's black and gay and a woman, and so from her mind she is, and she's also very overweight, so from her mind she is like the ultimate oppressed person, right? She's hitting so many different oppressed markers in society, and yet you have to be the most privileged person on the planet if you exist as this, super intersectional oppressed minority from your own perspective, and you think it's the majority, the people that could crush you with extreme violence if they wanted to, right?
Yes, of course.
Like the amount of, and part of the thing that
deport
prevents,
Roxane Gay,
right? And part of the thing that
with extreme prejudice.
the thing that protects people in the minority, that protects people like Roxane Gay from the majority of society using violence against her, silencing her, doing whatever, is
the
civility,
law.
is the law, is democracy, the concept of democracy and free speech, and is civility, which binds these things together.
Totally.
And you have to be insanely privileged to think that you're some sort of extreme radical rah calling away from civility, when if civility went away and you got your wish, you would be crushed instantly.
You would be crushed. Yes, you would be crushed.
It's just
you don't think the far right would like shove her back in the closet so fast?
Of course.
So fucking fast.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. But she says all of those people are the ones calling for civility? Hell no. You should log on to Twitter once in a while. They're not calling for civility at all. They're calling for the gloves to be taken off.
I feel like people who,
you fucking crazy bitch,
who've come to America from countries where there really were authoritarian governments that took over, they seem like they have a completely different attitude, where they really respect and appreciate civility. They don't have this attitude of like, oh yes, we should just throw that all away, because they understand what happens when there is no civility. Instead of these LARPers who sit around posting their revolution fantasies calling for violence.
Oh my God, I know. They have no idea what kind of madness they're playing with.
Mm-hmm.
It's so insane. It's so insane that she thinks the people who are openly advocating for being uncivil are the ones that are like begging her to keep it civil, Roxane, please. No, they're dying for you to take the gloves off so they can take the gloves off.
Right.
And they oftentimes have some kind of power, whether it's platform or political power, elected office, etc. And so for them, it really does offend their delicate sensibilities when you push them out of their comfort zone and force them to confront their inadequacies. They cannot tolerate it. And it's so interesting that the right came up with the word snowflakes to represent people who dare to challenge the status quo. There is no bigger set of snowflakes than Republicans in power. And it's really quite interesting to see. Like, they really are the ones who...
It is so... God, I hate that. This pause it like every 10 seconds. It is so.
It's just maddening.
Yeah, it is so infuriating. The gaslighting here. We all lived through the last 10 years of people like Roxane Gay and the alt left pushing this agenda of you are not allowed, free speech is not a good thing. You are not allowed to question anything. You are not allowed to have a conversation about specific topics. If you use someone's, gender identity incorrectly, you're going to get in trouble. If you say something that makes people feel uncomfortable and you're white, you're going to get in trouble. Obviously there's all the kids having a complete meltdown on college campuses. It's so funny to hear say this when I remember everyone having a meltdown over frickin' Brett Weinstein, just merely suggesting that he thought, the policy about white people not showing up on college campus for one day was a good idea in Evergreen so many years ago. And that's,
it was unfair. Yeah.
Right. And this gaslighting asshole is sitting here trying to tell us like, oh, well, civility is all these evil normies that are too sensitive, that are trying to tell us that we need to be sensitive. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? The entire reason we're in this situation, the entire reason a lot of people have swung much further to the right than this Roxane Gay person or anyone would ever feel comfortable with, is because your movement gained so much power and it did police speech. It did police everyone's sensibilities with its own civility politics. And now that it's on the outswing and it's being used against you, suddenly you're all up in arms. Fuck you. You're a hypocrite. You're a total fucking hypocrite.
Well, and the snowflake context is just rich when we're talking about the difference between getting someone's preferred pronouns wrong and some guy being brutally murdered in front of his fucking kids and wife. Let's look at the situation here a little bit clearly, okay?
Right.
Yeah, you're saying, look, you're a big snowflake because people are going online and celebrating a brutal fucking murder in front of people. And these are the same people who, the snowflake label was placed on them because they couldn't handle a slur in a joke from 10 years ago on Twitter.
Yes, people getting fired left and right. Remember, this was even before, when was this? It's like 2012 or something. Remember, there was that guy who he was wearing, he worked at NASA.
Yeah, he wore a shirt. Yes,
he had a shirt.
Some Playboy. I have that shirt.
And it had
Playboy pinups on it.
It was like attractive women on it. They were kind of wearing like leather outfits and that were like sexy. It wasn't like, it wasn't like there was no
there
nudity
wasn't
or anything.
Full nudity.
Right.
It wasn't
there wasn't
pornographic.
It wasn't pornographic, but they were just wearing like attractive outfits. And I agree, not exactly work shirt at NASA, but whatever. He's wearing the shirt and
he won some award. It was celebratory.
Right, because he had helped land some probe or something on an asteroid or a planet or whatever. He had some impressive NASA thing, and people went crazy. They said he was a sexist, said he was a horrible person, blah 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 blah. And then it turned out that the reason he was wearing that shirt was because his friend, who was a woman, made the shirt, and he was like, "Oh, he wanted to give a shout out to her because she made the shirt and gifted it to him." And he had to give some fucking crying apology about how sorry he was that he wore this shirt and offended people.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah.
No, we're the ones being so sensitive because we're like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be attacking people. Maybe you shouldn't be cheering on fucking murder. I would think the crowd that was all like, oh my God, it's okay for me to have a complete conniption fit if you don't call me Zer or whatever, or you dare say that I'm wrong while being a minority, is going to turn around and say, oh, well, you're just policing us and you tell us not to advocate for violence. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, this is just what is ridiculous about all of this. You dropped any slur on her and she would fucking lose her mind. Oh my God, she'd be in the hospital with a coronary.
Well, that's violence, Adam. If you call someone a slur, it's a form of violence.
Look, but she's the one here advocating for taking the civility gloves off, right? Why not? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Snowflakes, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Major snowflakes.
who are
Where's the
craving
button?
safe space. Because when you call for civility in that manner, you are saying, I don't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to take it upon yourself to do whatever you have to do to make me feel safe. And
Look, the fucking irony here. It's like, you got my pronouns wrong. I don't feel safe. Well, my friend just got fucking shot in the neck and bled out in the car on the way to the hospital. How safe do you think I feel?
You question some sort of HR policy, and then we have to fire you because you questioned it, and we got complaints. You're not making the people feel safe because you didn't agree with whatever quota or whatever system that we were trying to put in place here.
Look, in the context of this, she's saying, look, we all need to feel a bit unsafe. Okay, that's fine. But look, we're going to make you feel very, very unsafe.
If she wasn't, like, I could disagree with this feeling, but at least she could be consistent if she was, but she's not. There's no consistency. This is just all delusions and lies.
It's total bullshit. She probably has private security. Look, she doesn't even need private security. Ben Shapiro needs private security, okay? No one's going after Roxane Gay. All this is just big fucking talk from some nobody academic that nobody gives a fuck about, except for maybe 6 people who are left still reading the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about this woman at all.
And it's such
I don't even think this podcast got a bunch of views. I think it got like 50K views. So
right.
She's just completely full of herself.
Well,
that's what's insane. She's asking for something that she could not handle at all. I don't think she can handle 5 minutes on Twitter. She's probably abandoned Twitter for Threads, for the safe space of Threads.
She's on Blue Sky.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Blue Sky, that's the one.
Right. But no, that's people
Blue
are waking
Bubble.
up. People are waking up to this nonsense. People go, okay, they understand this is the dying gasps of the all left.
It is.
Crying,
yeah,
trying
exactly.
to beat back the darkness and failing.
the level of privilege. It is such a level.
She's going to talk about our privilege now.
Yes.
How fucking rich is this woman? How fucking rich is this woman?
Right.
Hi! You just listened to a clip from the Sitch Adam show. Most of the time we stream Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we stream during the week. Come join us. You guys are going to love it. It'll be great.